Howdy YouTube land, how you doing? Josh here with GamePlayersRUs. As many of you know, I recently picked up a Wii U this past year, and it has really become the surprise hit console of the year for me personally. I originally got a PS4 and intended that to be my main console of focus, to get all the games that I wanted to play. I originally dismissed the Wii U along the same reasons as many other people did previously because of the Wii, with so much shovelware put on the system, and just general, I would say, lack of first-party support for the most part. The Wii didn't interest me really until much later in its life cycle, when I could get it really cheap. But then the Wii U came out, and I really got into that, surprisingly, after I found a really good deal on it. So, recently I've been playing a lot more Wii U games, and if you watched our past year on YouTube, our 2-year anniversary YouTube video, you'd have seen that a lot of our games of the year that we played, the games that we played over the past year, have been on the Wii U. So, I felt it somewhat fitting to kind of make a video about what I expected from Nintendo, or what I wished from Nintendo in the year 2015 to come out. Now, some of these have been rumored to be in the works already, but these are things that I personally would really like to see on the Wii U, just to push it that much further ahead of the other consoles. First of all, I've said this before in other videos, I would love to see a new Mario Tennis. Mario Tennis on the N64 is one of my favorite games of all time on the N64, and it's just so much fun to play with friends. Everyone gets into the spirit of friendly competition, and it's been a lot of fun ever since the first time I've ever played it. Luckily, it was given to me as a gift for Christmas, and I still have my original copy, and I still play it to this day, and it's a lot of fun. I recently picked up a version on the 3DS, Mario Tennis Open, and it's been a lot of fun as well. But I think it would be that much better to have it on the Wii U, have it on the big screen, HD graphics, 4-player multiplayer. I think it would be really awesome. To offshoot from that, it would also be really cool to see, like, Mario Super Strikers, or Mario All-Star Baseball, or, you know, any kind of the other Mario sports games, Mario Golf, for example. It'd be really cool to see those start making their way over as well to the Wii U. Another one that would be really cool to see is another Paper Mario game. There's already a few Mario games on the Wii U, so there's not going to be a huge rush on this one, although it would be really cool. Again, like I said, the Paper Mario series. Paper Mario on the Wii was pretty fun, and I did have a lot of fun with that one. Paper Mario on the N64 was probably one of my favorites, and the 1000-Year Door on the GameCube was also a lot of fun. So I think it's time that they, you know, again, step up and get one in development for that as well. Alongside that, maybe another version of Super Mario RPG, some kind of offshoot of that, maybe a continuation of the series, would be really cool, and I'm sure a lot of fans would appreciate that. Now here's one that was kind of a surprise for me that I was thinking about and just thought about how cool it would be. I never really played the original on the Super Nintendo, although I have seen it played. The one that sticks with me personally is, again, one from the N64, and that's Pilot Wings. Again, it would be really cool to see that on the big screen, HD graphics, some multiplayer aspects to it. Just a fun game to, you know, throw around and have some fun with. It wouldn't have to be a full release title. We've seen the release of some budget titles such as the new Kirby game, Captain Toad, NES Remix. So it would be cool to see Pilot Wings kind of move into that sort of direction, kind of a low release point, and I think that would be a really cool game to have a lot of fun with. Now here's one that's rumored to be in development, although at this point I'm not sure if it's confirmed or not. But a new Metroid game is definitely called for on the Wii U. The HD graphics, having the Wii U gamepad as your secondary menu to be able to flip through your weapons quickly, get your tools that you need to scan things. Of course, I'm basing my projections on the Metroid Prime series, but again, it would really lend itself well to the Wii U, even if you want to put some motion controls in there where you have to move the camera around to find or move the gamepad around to find certain aspects of the environment to interact with. I think that could be done really well, again, if developed properly. Now, one of the series I would really love to see, and I don't think it would be that popular, of a choice right off the bat, but hear me out on this one. I think a new Excite Bike would be really cool. The one on the NES is a lot of fun, and the one on the N64 was, again, one of my favorite games on the N64. You either loved it or you hate it. I love it. I have a lot of friends who hate it. But it's a lot of fun to play multiplayer. It's a good, fast, sort of technical racer where you have to get the angle of your bike set up. And it would be really nice to get an up-res version of it, or just an all-new version. There's already the new Excite Bike track in Mario Kart 8, so I think it's only a matter of time before we might see a new Excite Bike on the Wii U. Another game that should definitely be on the Wii U, just because of the recent power or the processing power of the Wii U that none of the previous systems have had. A new F-Zero game. F-Zero is a lightning fast racer. Again, it would be just insane. The F-Zero track, Mute City on Mario Kart 8, is one of my favorite tracks just because of the sheer amount of speed in the game. So I think, again, it needs to be ported, or it needs to be up-res from maybe the GameCube up to the Wii U, or again, another entirely new game in development specifically made for the Wii U. I'm not really sure how the gamepad could really be implemented in the game, but knowing Nintendo, they'll find a way to make it work, and it'll be good. Now, again, moving more into the racer side of aspect of things, I'm going to clump these two together just because they are not the most popular series, but I think they are some of the most fun. How about a new Wave Race? That was developed on the N64 and then again came to the GameCube. Or along with 1080 snowboarding. I think 1080 Avalanche was really fun on the GameCube. 1080 snowboarding on the N64 is one of my all-time favorite snowboarding games. It beats out Snowboard Kids, and it beats out SSX for me. I have way more fun with 1080 than I do with any of those games. So again, having HD graphics, I'm going to be repeating myself a lot, HD graphics, maybe some motion controls where you have to balance between the two, or get your center of gravity just right, would be really cool. Multiplayer, again, I must have multiplayer, but yeah, I think that one would be really cool. Now this one isn't directly developed by Nintendo, but I think it would be really cool to have, or really interesting to have the series return to Nintendo almost exclusively. Nothing against any of the other consoles, but to me, when I think of this series, I instinctively think Nintendo, and that would be Mega Man. Now, Mighty Number 9 has been slated to be released later this year, so that's kind of pays homage to the Mega Man series, but it'd be really nice to have a pure Mega Man game, maybe Mega Man 13 or 14, whatever they're on now, to come, and again, keep it like a side-scroller. It wouldn't necessarily have to be 3D. But again, maybe have like an up-res version, kind of do what they did with DuckTales remastered, just with Mega Man. This next game has been suggested to me through our Facebook page, so I put out a community question and I got a response that I thought was really good. Unfortunately, neither the person who suggested it nor myself think it will probably happen, simply because of the development company who owns the rights to it. But how cool would it be to have Conker's Bad Fur Day on the 3DS? Now, even if it wasn't from the 3DS, maybe it was up-resed onto the Wii U. That one would be really cool as well. Not really exactly sure how they would do it, seeing as Rare is owned by Microsoft. Again, competing companies, so not really sure how that would work out. Most likely never going to happen, but just the idea and thinking about it would be really cool. Now, obviously there are games already coming out that are slated to be released later this year that I'm really excited about. Obviously, the new Legend of Zelda, which looks amazing. If you haven't seen the demo footage of that, just do a quick YouTube search and check it out. It looks really cool. The graphics look amazing. So the open world style of the game looks really, really nice. Now, I haven't really played a whole lot or any of the Legend of Zelda games, but I am planning to try to get into them. But I think regardless of that fact, I will be getting that game. But of course, the one I'm most excited about, that was kind of thrown under the radar along with the announcement of the new Legend of Zelda coming out, is the new Star Fox. Now, Star Fox 64 is one of my favorite games on the N64, for sure. Star Fox Assault on the GameCube, again, an amazing shooter on the GameCube. Star Fox Adventures, deviated from the path of the original games, and it's very subjective on whether you like it or not. I won't pass judgment here, but again, I think it would be really nice for it to be moved up. Now they have Star Fox 64 3D on the 3DS, and so it's cool that they're now developing some version of Star Fox to the Wii U. And of course, I'll be able to use my lovely Fox McCloud amiibo. Now, aside from games, what would I love to see from the Wii U in general, hardware-wise? There's been a lot of heat and discontent with Nintendo about releasing peripherals for the system and then not supplying enough, i.e. the GameCube adapter. With the GameCube adapter even being released for the Wii U, we can see how the Wii U is able to use the USB devices for its own benefit. Now, bear with me on this one. It could happen, but again, I don't want to stress that it will, but in my mind, it makes complete sense why it should work. The new 3DS that just came to North America, that's been released with the second analog stick, more processing power, amiibo support. It's been rumored by several reputable websites that the hardware within that system should be capable and or may be capable of streaming Wii U games from the Wii U to the 3DS. Now, as amazing as that sounds, I would like to see almost the reverse of that. Now, we've had the Super Game Boy in the past, we've had the Game Boy Player in the past, and if you think about it, it's almost skipped every other generation. So, Super Nintendo we had one, and 64 we didn't have something that would play mobile or handheld games on a system. And then the GameCube came out, and it would play the Game Boy games on a TV, and then the Wii came out and it wouldn't. So I think it's been skipping every generation. So the Wii U is out now, people are able to develop anything and plug it into a USB and make it work. I think it would be perfectly legitimately possible for Nintendo to develop some sort of kit, even if it costs maybe $100, that you could play Nintendo 3DS games on your Wii U through a USB attachment into the Wii U. Again, there's a top screen and a bottom screen on the Wii U, just like there is on the 3DS. There's no reason why that wouldn't work. In my mind, there probably is a lot of technical humps to get over, but knowing Nintendo, they could make it work if they really wanted to. Along with that, they should also make sure that they release enough of them so as not to encourage this stupid, scalping market that we've been dealing with lately, especially with Nintendo products. So, again, release enough products and continually release and print them in order to supply the demand that is out there for it. So that's what I think, but I'd like to hear what you think about. What would you like to hear, or what would you like to see from Nintendo in 2015? Any new game franchises that should be revived into the new generation, or even HD remasters of old games? That would be really cool too. I've been really liking any kind of HD remakes or HD remasters that have been released on any system recently. I would love to hear your opinion on that, so be sure to leave a comment down below to let me know, or even do a video response. If you do, be sure to leave a link down again in the comments below so that I can find it and anybody else can find it as well who's interested in the subject. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and check out our Facebook page down below in the description if you're interested in keeping up with any of our gaming grabs or any of the other further community questions that we plan to have in the future. Thanks so much for sticking around and watching the whole video, and I'll see you guys next time.